Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have various people asking questions of Joe. And first up is another member of our host today, Global Containers and Custom Packaging Inc. And this is Luis. Luis, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, good afternoon over there. I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Foster, for the presentation.
Hi, Luis.
We're very happy to have you here with us and to know your story. You know, it's amazing how you guys and actually you came from, you know, from the very ground up, you know, and still going. Congratulations from my part.
It was a marvelous journey, and thank you, Luis.
And then I have a question. I wrote it down, but basically, I think you explained it. But you know, one of my first things when I see these big companies is like, okay, how do you manage to go that big? You know, from being just a small shop all the way to worldwide. How do you manage that? You already explained it a little bit, but for instance, I don't know if you keep producing your tennis shoes when you were growing that fast and you were now in the US side. You were still manufacturing at England, or I'm assuming you went manufacturing elsewhere to keep the high demand of your customers?
Well, I mean, the book explains this in more detail, but to sort of piece it down, once we going to America to get a 5-star shoe, we knew very well that our small factory could not cope. In fact, Kmart were the first people to meet me in 1979, and they wanted 25,000 pairs. And that would have been 6 months' work for our small factory. But, you know, we knew if we got a 5-star shoe, the demand would be big. So I had a friend who worked at Barter. In fact, he just set up the sports division. And Derek Shackleton in the book, and he said, "Look, Joe, if you want to, you know, we'll help you. We'll do the production for you." And Barter, the biggest shoe company in the world, they could do that. So that was no problem. But then Kmart said, "Yeah, but we want a better price."
Been there, done that.
And whilst Barter could do it, they could do a better price, but not that better. So we had to go to South Korea. We knew, you know, the business was moving there. We knew that. That's where you could get the shoes at less than half the price that we could make them. But we'd already made contact. I already contacted in South Korea. In fact, when you read the book, later on in 1979, I was on a flight called Around the World in 80 Days or Less. It was Pan Am 2. Pan Am 2 went around the world east. Pan Am 1 went around the world west. And I took the Pan Am flight east to go out to Korea. So this is what I had to do. So when you grow, you got to say, okay, we're going to need production. We can't do it in the UK. It's too expensive. We can go to the Far East. But, you know, in the UK, we could get a credit line. When you go to Korea, you can't get a credit line. You know, you have to have a letter of credit. You have to have the banks following it. So this is where we needed, we needed finance. And this is where Stephen Rubin came in. He's in the book as well. And Stephen Rubin, he already sourced product from the Far East. That was his job. That was part of Pentland Industries. So for a bit of stock, he gave us a credit line. And that credit line was how we financed that growth. And by the time we're at $300 million revenues and we're going to 900 million, it wasn't money that was the problem. Money wasn't the problem. It was, how do you get the product to get from 300 million to 900 million? Because, you know, we got to get the shoes. And the answer to that was the fact that Nike, and you know, you need a lot of luck in life. Certainly you need some luck. And Nike just hit a wall at that time and they had to pull out of 3 factories. That gave us the chance. We immediately went in those factories and produced all those shoes that we needed to get to 900 million. So that's how we managed to grow.